Intersected by the Danube, the beautiful city of Budapest extends from the plain of Pest to the heights of Buda. The historic center of Budapest is located in the Castle District. The royal palace has seen many conflicts and has been rebuilt several times, in the 18th century and after 1945. Along the river's edge, iron shoes form a memorial to the tragic fate of the Jews during the Second World War. On the opposite bank is an unusual structure built in the early 20th century in neo-Romanesque style, the Fisherman's Bastion. It is located on the site of the ancient city walls and bears the name of the Fishermen's Guild, a sign to defend this section of the ramparts. It affords a spectacular view of Pest, the modern half of the city. On the hills of Buda, the bastion leads to the majestic Matthias Church. Built in 1255 and later rebuilt, its Baroque interior hosted the royal coronations. The church is still one of the most beautiful symbols of Hungary. In the 19th century, the imperial dynasty of the Habsburgs turned Budapest into a modern capital. A monumental Gothic parliament, modeled on the Palace of Westminster in London, was erected. At 879 feet long with nearly 700 rooms, it is the largest building in Hungary. On the recommendation of Count Andrassy, a broad avenue was also built. At number 22, the National Opera officially opened in 1884. In this sumptuous concert hall, Puccini conducted at the opening night of two of his operas. Gustav Mahler was the first director of the opera house. Lined with palaces and museums, imposing Andrassy Avenue, nicknamed Cultural Avenue, leads to the Heroes' Square. A monument erected in 1896 celebrates the millennium of Hungary. It represents the founders of the nation and major historical figures. This beautiful urban landscape was listed as World Heritage by UNESCO in 1987. In the Rila Mountains of southwestern Bulgaria stands a striking monastery. Nestled in forest, the monastery was founded in the 10th century by Saint John of Rila, a hermit canonized by the Orthodox Church. It is considered one of the major centers of Bulgarian religious and cultural life. With its large inner courtyard, the Tower of Corelio is a reminder of troubled times. Founded in 1335, it served as a refuge for monks during Ottoman attacks. The wooden balconies lead to the cells of the 300 monks who once lived here. In the early 19th century, a fire destroyed the building. Craftsmen came from all over the country to offer their skills. From 1396 to 1878, under the Ottoman yoke, the monks chose the path of resistance, nurturing Bulgarian culture. The reconstruction of the monastery became the symbol of a national revival. The Church of the Assumption was covered with a gospel in pictures not unlike modern comics. Painted by the greatest artists of the time, the colorful frescoes envelop the cupolas and the walls. Inside the building stands a monumental iconostasis carved in walnut. In Orthodox churches, this partition separates the altar from the nave where the congregation stands. The many icons are intended to instruct the faithful. The magnificent site of the Rila Monastery was declared World Heritage by UNESCO in 1983. On the hills overlooking the Dnieper River stands the famous city of Kyiv. In the 11th century, Yaroslav the Wise, a prince who converted to Byzantine Christianity, covered the city with Orthodox splendors. In 1037, he built Sainte-Sophia Cathedral, graced with a golden dome belfry and 13 cupolas representing Christ and the Apostles. Designed to rival the Hagia Sophia Cathedral in Constantinople, the magnificent interior is directly inspired by Byzantine art. In the middle of the apse, a monumental mosaic of the Virgin floats above the congregation. In total, 2,800 square feet of mosaics and 32,300 square feet of frescoes cover the interior walls, pillars, and vaults. Sainte-Sophia Cathedral in Kyiv is one of the most revered sanctuaries of the Slavic world. The monastery of Kyiv-Pechersk was built next to the city. It greatly contributed to the spread of the Orthodox faith. The Cathedral of the Dormition was built in 1073. Although it has undergone several reconstructions, the cathedral was the centerpiece of the Lavra, a Russian term given to particularly important and revered monasteries. Over 9 centuries, buildings proliferated, like the refectory church of Saints Anthony and Theodosius. On its walls, a huge fresco surrounds the monks in their monastic life. The lower part of the monastery houses the origins of the site, underground caves where parishioners and monks came to pray. In these dim labyrinths lie mummified remains of dozens of monks. Their perfect state of conservation without embalming has often been interpreted as evidence of the sanctity of these holy men. The jewels of glorious Kyiv, the Lavra of Kyiv-Pechersk, and Sainte-Sophia Cathedral were classified as World Heritage by UNESCO in 1990.